Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be adding, subtracting rational expressions, and we have to make common denominators. So we're doing a little bit different than what we've already done. You're going to need your notes, pen and/or pencil, and a calculator, please. All right, our objective today, once again, is we'll learn how to simplify rational expressions accurately. So now we're just going to add or subtract with unlike denominators, and then we're going to simplify. Now remember back, we had this on our last video. We need to make sure when we are adding or subtracting that we have things in common. They have to be the same thing. So we can do this, but we can't do this. This would give us, what, 7 cows? And this we can't combine because they're not the same. So we'd have 2 cows plus 3 ducks. Alright, so make sure we have to have common denominators. So let's get this down first. A little refresher on our fractions. In order for us to add these, we have to have a common denominator. So we remember that first thing we're going to look at is our denominators. They're not the same, but we can ask ourselves, can 5 evenly go into 10? And the answer is yes. If we take 5 times 2, we're going to get 10. But we have to remember, if we're going to do something to our denominator, we have to do it to their numerator on the top. So we have to take the top times 2. When we do that, we're going to get 2 over 10 plus 7 over 10, and we're going to equal 9 over 10. So in order for us to add or subtract, we have to have a common denominator. So please, please, please write this down. 2. In order for us to add or subtract rational expressions with unlike denominators, we must find the least common denominator. Very, very, very important. We're going to be doing this a lot the next few weeks. We make a common denominator by multiplying, not adding. That's really, really important. And then we're going to be using some factoring here. All right, here's example number 1. If we look at example number 1, we'll notice that our denominators are not the same, but they also can't be factored. So that means we get to move on to our next step. You're going to want to make a table that looks something like this. And we're going to put our first denominator right here. So we have 3x, 3 times x. And then we're going to put our second denominator over here. X squared, remember, ladies and gentlemen, means x times x. So that's how I'm going to write it, x times x. And our goal is to find our least common denominator. That's what we're doing first. So if I separate my factors, here I'm going to get 3 and x. Now my second one, I just have x's, so I'm going to put in my x box, I have x times x. So I have 2 of them. Now, find our least common denominator, what we're going to do is we're going to bring everything that we have above down. So I have a 3, and if I look here, I have 2 x's, so I'm going to have an x squared. So my least common denominator is going to be 3x squared. That's very important. We have to find this first. Next thing we have to do, remember, if we're finding something or adding things to the bottom, we also have to multiply them on the top. So I'm going to go through this, and everywhere there's a hole, I'm going to have to multiply that towards this. So if we look at this, I have an x. I'm missing an x here. That's what I'm missing. Here, my blue one, my second fraction, I'm missing a 3. I don't have a 3. So what I do is I come back over to my original problem, and on my first one, this is my green one, I was missing an x, so I need to take my numerator times x. On my second one, I was missing a 3, so I had to take my numerator times 3. Now when I rewrite this, I'm going to have, on my numerator, I'll have take 2 times x, I get 2x, and I'm going to put over my least common denominator, I'm just going to write that right now, plus 3 times 5, which is going to be 15, over my least common denominator. Now from here, all I'm going to do is add my things together. So from here I get 2x plus 15 all over my least common denominator. Now that I have my numerator all simplified, I can't simplify or factor that anymore. I'm going to rewrite it as 2x plus 15 all over my least common denominator right here, 3x squared. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is my final answer. All right, here comes example number 2. So example number 2, first thing we have to do, check out our denominators. They are different, so we have to factor them if possible. This one can be factored. We have differences of squares. So it's going to be written as x plus 2 and x minus 2. X minus 2, that's already simplified for us. We're going to make our table. We're going to plug in what we know. So my factors on the bottom are x plus 2, x minus 2, and my second fraction is going to be x minus 2, and my goal here, remember, is to find my least common denominator. So each factor has to go into its own box. So in the first one, my green, my first fraction, I have 2 factors. So I'm going to have x plus 2 and x minus 2. My second one, I just have 1 factor, and it's x minus 2. So it has to go under the same column as my x minus 2. There we go. Now there's no more. So to find my least common denominator, I just bring everything down. So my least common denominator is going to be x plus 2 and x minus 2. So that's really important. X plus 2, x minus 2. There's our least common denominator. Really, really important for us. Now we go back and we have to see what we're missing. Well, on our first one, we have it all filled. On our second one, we're missing this square right here. We're missing that x plus 2. So on my second fraction, I have to come in here and multiply this by x plus 2. So my first fraction is fine, so I'm going to rewrite that as 4x plus 1 all over my least common denominator, plus my second one, I need to go through, distribute this 3 into both of these. When I do that, I'm going to get 3x plus 6 all over my least common denominator. Now, since I have the same denominator, I can add my numerators. So I have 3x and plus 4x, which is going to give me 7x plus 7 all over my least common denominator. I can simplify my numerator. I can take out my greatest common factor of 7, so I have 7 and then x plus 1. And now I can rewrite my least common denominator. I have that up here, x plus 2, x minus 2. Now I can't simplify anything here, so ladies and gentlemen, this is our answer. Alright, moving on to example number 3. Here's example number 3 here. When we look at this one, same thing right away, we have to factor things, our denominators first. This one is factored for us, so we're going to leave it as is. This one right here, we're going to use AC method. So I'm going to A times C, add up to B, 25 and 10. So we're going to have 5 times 5 adds up to 10. Plug that into our box. X squared 5x. 5x and 25. Take out that greatest common factor, so I have 5x, x, and 5. So once this is factored, it's going to be x plus 5 and x plus 5. Once I have my denominators factored, I'm going to plug what I know into my box. So my first fraction, I'm going to put that factor, it's x plus 5. On my second one, I have x plus 5 squared. Remember, that means I have 2 of them. And my goal here is to find my least common denominator. So when I do this one, I'm going to have x plus 5. And on the bottom, my second fraction, I have 2x plus 5. So I have x plus 5 and x plus 5. To find my least common denominator, I'm going to bring everything down. So here I have x plus 5 and x plus 5. So it's really important that we remember that our least common denominator is x plus 5 and x plus 5. Now we have to go through, see what we're missing. On my first fraction, I'm missing one of my x plus 5s. So I have to multiply my numerator of my first fraction times x plus 5. My second one has nothing missing, so I don't need to multiply my numerator by anything. When I do this, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get, remember I have to distribute this through, so I will get 4x plus 20 all over my least common denominator minus 6x minus 1 all over my least common denominator. Combine like terms here, so I'm going to get 10x plus 19 all over my least common denominator. Once I get here, I can't simplify my numerator, so I'm just going to rewrite it as 10x plus 19 all over my least common denominator, which was x plus 5 and x plus 5. Once I get here, I can leave my answer as is. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, example number 4. Here it comes. Right away, we look at our denominators. We have to see if we can simplify this at all. When we see this, we just have x plus 4 and x minus 3. We can't factor those at all, so we're going to put them in right away. My first fraction is x plus 4. My second fraction, the denominator, is x minus 3. My goal here is to find my least common denominator. Now when I do this, I'm going to put them in. Here I have x plus 4. And then I have to make a new column for x minus 3. Remember, each factor gets their own column. Least common denominator, I'm just going to drop them down. So I have x plus 4 and x minus 3. So this one, my least common denominator, is going to be x plus 4 and times the factor x minus 3. Now I have to go through, see what I'm missing. So on the first one, I'm missing my x minus 3. So my first fraction, I have to multiply this by x minus 3. When I distribute that through, I'm going to get 3x minus 9 all over my least common denominator plus, now we look at our second one. Our second fraction is missing x plus 4. So then I have to multiply my second fraction by x plus 4 on the numerator. When I distribute my 8 through, I'm going to get 8x plus 32 all over my least common denominator. Now once I get this far, I can add my like terms in my numerator. So I'm going to have 11x plus 23 all over my least common denominator. Numerator I can't factor at all, so I'm going to leave as is of 11x plus 23. Now I'm going to write my least common denominator, which is right up here. X plus 4, x minus 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that is going to be our answer there. All right, I'm going to do one more. If you guys want to get this one down, I recommend it, but if you want to stop, you also may do that now. When you look at this example, this time I have 3 fractions, which we are more than capable of doing. So when I go through my first one here, first thing you have to do, remember factor. I can take out an x, so it's going to be x times x minus 3. The second one I can also factor because it's a difference of squares, so I have x plus 3, x minus 3. And then my last one here, I can also factor. I can take out a greatest common factor, can take out x, so I'm left with x minus 3. When I look at these ones, I'm going to put it into my table again. So my first one, I have an x and an x minus 3. Second fraction, I have x plus 3, x minus 3. My third one, I have an x and x minus 3. When I go through, remember you have to put each factor in its own spot. So my first one, x gets its own spot, x minus 3 gets its own spot. My second one, I have x plus 3. I don't have a spot for that yet, so I'm going to put x plus 3 down here. And then I have an x minus 3, so I can plug that in. And on my third fraction, I can plug those in x, and I have an x minus 3. Now my goal, remember, is to find my least common denominator. So I bring everything down. I have an x, x minus 3, x plus 3. So least common denominator equals x times the quantity x minus 3 times the quantity x plus 3. Now I have to go through each one and see what's missing. On my first fraction, I am missing this right here. I'm missing my x plus 3. So I have to multiply my numerator by x plus 3. When I do that, I'm going to get x squared plus 3x all over my least common denominator, plus my second one I look up here, I'm missing this right here. I'm missing that x. So my second numerator I need to multiply by x. So 1 times x is just x all over my least common denominator. And my last fraction, I am missing x plus 3, so I need to multiply my numerator times x plus 3, and that's going to give me 4x plus 12 over my least common denominator. From here, I'm going to add all my like terms, so I only have 1x squared, so I have x squared. And then I have 3x plus 4x, which is going to give me plus 8x plus 12 all over my least common denominator. Now this one we have to think to ourselves, okay, can we factor this? So if we look at that, we can take 12, AC method. 12 has to be broken into 8. If we look at this, factors of 12 are 1 and 12. That doesn't work. 2 and 6 does work, so we're going to go 2 and 6. Plug that into our box. We're going to get x squared, 2x, 6x and 12, so 6x, x and 2. So if I rewrite this, finally, I'm going to have x plus 2, x plus 6, all over my least common denominator, which is x times x minus 3 and x plus 3. All right, and that's going to be our final answer because we can't simplify any further. And ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for you. Please make sure you took really good notes. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye.